Hi everyone, welcome. I'm Meredith, your evolutionary astrologer, and today we are going to talk all about the month of March and how it might affect you. What I'm going to do in this particular video is I'm going to tell you about planetary powerhouse shifts that are occurring, and there are a lot of them. So buckle up. You're going to want to know about March. March is one of the biggest months this year in 2023. In my members only video, if you are a superstar, super supporter, or a super supporter, you're going to get all my extended content, and I'm going to go into how this month is going to affect all 12 signs. In this video, though, I want you to write these really important dates down because these are the powerhouse, power-packed, jam-packed dates that you will feel the plate tectonics shift occurring on. It's no small month. It's a stick of dynamite, and we're going to dive right in. Let's go. So March 1st is fascinating. It is absolutely glorious. We actually have Venus in Aries conjunct Jupiter in Aries at 12 degrees Aries. So if you are in Aries, if your sun or moon, or if you have a planet sitting at that 12 degree marker, 10 degrees before, 10 degrees after, anywhere near that 12 degrees Aries, wow, this is a time for big love, big money, and big abundance. This is a gloriously good, yummy, delicious transit, and you want to take advantage of this. This is like when you can step into your very best self. And if you are a fire sign, this is fabulous. So I'm going to go more into the details on how this will affect each sign in my extended content. But for here, I just want to tell you that if you are a fire sign or an air sign, with the exception of Libra, my friends, so Gemini or Aquarius, this is a time when you can really receive an amazing opportunity. It's sort of when the gold confetti just rains down on you. Who does not love a Jupiter conjunct Venus, right, in Aries? But I do want to say that until March 7th, we do have that pesky Saturn at the 29th degree of Aquarius, and that is pretty tough. So we are going to see some inhumanity in the world out there. I also think that we could discover more unidentified flying objects that we don't really know what they are during this time until March 7th. The aliens are in fact coming, and I did do a video on that. We've got Pluto also at the 29th degree of Capricorn. Gosh darn it. When it moves into Aquarius, I think we are going to start understanding more and more about these unidentified flying objects, right? I believed I talked about the aliens, and if anybody knows this and you want to leave me a comment on this video, I would be so grateful, because I went back and I tried to find it, but I just didn't have the time to do enough research. But I think I talked about UFOs and aliens coming to visit us in my video titled Pluto at the 29th degree of Capricorn, moving into 0 degrees Aquarius. So on March 23rd, I'm skipping ahead just a little bit, that's when we're going to break free from the shackles of Pluto being at the 29th degree of Capricorn. It's finally going to move on March 23rd into 0 degrees Aquarius. I don't know if it's better. I just know it's going to be different. Okay, my sweet friends, mark your calendars, especially if you are a Pisces or a Virgo. This is also really beneficial if you are a Capricorn or a Cancer or a Scorpio or a Taurus. Okay, we are getting that Saturn movement out of Aquarius and into Pisces. This is going to be a long transit, and this is going to last for about 3 years. So this Saturn in Pisces, with all its retrogrades and its movements, it's there until 2026, I believe. I also want to tell you how crazy is this. This is a day where we are going to have the Virgo full moon. You are going to feel the Saturn shift. You are going to feel the full moon shift. And I want to tell you, this is a time of great sensitivity and maybe even a little bit of weight. So I do want you all to be really cognizant of yourself, of your emotions, of your feelings. There could even be spiritual connections made, divine connections, because now we have a stellium in Pisces and we've got Neptune on the sun. So there's going to be a lot of interesting shifts on this day. This is a great day for changes in your life. This is a great day for you to level up, deepen yourself, get more vulnerable, step into the metaphysics of your life, the metaphysical aspects of your life. This is a great day for healing, prayer work, meditation, yoga. This is a time to be gentle with self and others. And remember, we still have that Pluto at that 29-degree Capricorn. So we are going to see a lot of loss, a lot of endings. We're going to see people in positions of power fall. We're going to probably see more institutions that hold a lot of power, maybe hold money, crumble. It will be very interesting to see if the economy gets a little bit stronger or more powerful. I have a feeling after the 23rd of March, we are going to be rebounding from our financial woes, if you will. We will have a little bit more freedom. One thing I do want to say is if you are a Capricorn on the last degree of Capricorn, this is a time for you to be very, very, very gentle with yourself because Pluto is sitting on your sun. You're having a Pluto transit. And if you guys have not watched my Pluto playlist, please, dear God, go watch that so you can know what you are in for. And also watch my video where I talk about Pluto at the 29th degree of Capricorn moving into Aquarius. So you got that whole Pluto playlist to watch because that's no small thing. And if you are a Capricorn or if you're born on the very last day of Cancer, this is in opposition to your sun. And this is very, very challenging for you. This is a time when you have an opportunity to heal those psychological wounds that have plagued you. But this is a time when you could also experience some losses in your life. They might be important losses. If you have this in square aspect, so the last degree of Libra, the last degree of Aries, then you're in square aspect to this Pluto, and that's pretty tough. And I do go deep into that in my 29-degree Pluto video, but I really want you to understand Pluto so you can develop a deeper relationship with that planet because that planet can bring upon the biggest challenges of your life. I do also want to say that on the 7th of March, when Saturn moves into Pisces, Saturn doesn't love being in Pisces. It's probably the biggest transit of the entire year. And one of the divine blessings of Saturn moving into Pisces, and I probably will do a whole entire video on this since it's going to be here for a long time, is we really can understand what the concrete requirements are, what the pragmatic requirements are of us to build and manifest our dreams. And that is maybe one of the best parts of Saturn in Pisces. As I said, I'm going to do a whole video on this, on Saturn in Pisces, and I have a lot of information to share with you. So keep a lookout for that because you're going to want to know, especially if you have your own Saturn in Pisces, then you're about to have your Saturn return. It's going to sit at that 0 degrees, that really powerful degree on March 7th. So I want to now skip ahead to March 16th, and I want you guys all to write this down on your calendar because the moon is creeping up to Pluto. By the end of that day, it's going to be in a conjunction to Pluto with it being exact on the 17th. So that can be an emotionally challenging day for us. I don't particularly love this day. However, I don't want to scare anybody because energy that is powerful and challenging, in this case, because it's Pisces, even kind of maddening or confusing or chaotic, it can help us. It can help us get organized. It can help us get centered. It can help us by delivering us things that we don't necessarily want to deal with, but we have to deal with it. So Mercury is conjunct Neptune, which can be a beautiful thing too. It's also conjunct the sun. So we have a Mercury-Neptune sun conjunction. Okay, that's fine. We can talk about that. It's not terrible, but we have it in exact square to Mars and Gemini. And that is just massively chaotic and confusing. Then we have the moon conjunct Pluto. It's not exactly conjunct, but it's close enough. And then we have Venus at 29 degrees Aries. So this day is massive. We also now, at this point on March 16th, Saturn has moved into 1 degree Pisces. So it's kind of a lot of energy. I also want to say Mars is out of bounds and the moon is out of bounds. So what the hell is going to be happening on March 16th? It's something really, really big. The other thing is that the moon is in an exact trine on that day at 16 degrees Capricorn moon to Uranus at 16 degrees Taurus. So it's emotionally volatile. We're going to be shocked, have confusing details about life, what to believe, what not to believe, who can we trust, who can we not trust. Do not get duped. This is a day of massive scammers. This is a day where you could be duped and tricked. This is the day where, you could literally be roofied. And I say that because Mars is your animation, it's your strength, it's your movement, and it is in square aspect to Neptune, the Sun, and Mercury. And then we have this moon Pluto, and then we have this moon with Uranus, and then we have Venus at 29 degrees. It could be a day of great betrayals. It could be a day of deception and lies. It could be a day when we become aware of those lies. And so I do want you to have your antenna up. I want your antennas up, and I want you guys to really get your BS meter highly polished, right? And I just don't want anybody to fool you. I don't want anybody to trick you. Mars is in the communication planet of Gemini, right? At 25 degrees. Mercury does not love being in Pisces. It's in its fall. They are exact squares. So there's going to be deceptive modes of communication. Could be hacking. There could be more spy balloons, surveillance, right? Trickery. And I believe that this is when the crypto king guy, the last time we had this square, because we've had this square going back and forth, I think that's when the crypto king got exposed that he was stealing everybody's cryptocurrency. This guy got exposed during one of these Neptune squares. We're going to see more fraudsters. We're going to see more exposure around illusions, fakery, trickery. I just don't want you to be a victim of the fraud. The moon and Mars are out of bounds. This is also going to be about a war with words, with Mars squaring Mercury. Nice things might not be said. And you might be confused, shocked, surprised a little bit. They pop out of the blue with the Neptune there. On the positive side, okay, on the positive side, this aspect could be so challenging that it has you step deep into your integrity. And I hope it works that way for you. It might even be where you need to stand up against something that is just so wrong. You might get harsh words thrown at you, get into a little bit of a brawl. They might confuse you and play the shell game with you said this and you meant that and you did this. Your frenemy or your adversary could mix up the facts so much that you don't know which way is up. Just let the transit pass, gather your thoughts. This is a great time to take a bubble bath, meditate, go to yoga, take a long walk, play with your animals, do Neptunian things. Literally go on a hike, go on a walk, play with your children. I don't know, finger paint, paint ceramics, do something beautiful, do something Neptunian, Pisces, sun. So pour yourself into your music. Retreat. That's what I have to say. I do wonder what is going to happen with the war in Ukraine with this, and I am a little bit nervous about that, to tell you the truth. Venus is going to square Pluto at the 29th degree, the crisis degree. Did you guys see my video on the 0, 15, and 29th degree? That's one whole video you've got to go watch about those degrees. The 29th degree is the degree where the planet is changing, getting ready to change into the next sign. It has a lessening effect, and so it is actually losing its power. And there's a lot of loss in the 29th degree. So when we have Venus squaring Pluto, this can be a pretty painful time. We're lucky, though, that it doesn't last very long. By March 17th, we have Venus exalted in Taurus, and it conjuncts the North Node. So the 16th, there could be some love lost on that day. You might feel abandoned. You might feel some wounds financially. You could lose some money on that day. Don't gamble. That's not your gambling day. And I just want you to sort of be prepared, especially if you are a late degree Aries or a late degree Capricorn, that this could be a time where you really come to the decision in your life on the 16th of March. And also, I should say Libra and Cancer, where you want to transform your relationship or transform your relationship to money, or you want to make changes around your finances, or you want to make changes around who you love. You might want to step out of your relationship or end a relationship that was once very important to you because it just no longer makes you feel the joy or the happiness or the Venus things that you should be feeling. Maybe this relationship has made you feel insecure and you're just done with it and you want something that brings you more emotional or financial security, something that makes you feel better about yourself. Let me give you kind of a great bonus day, and that is March 12th, Venus in Aries at 24 degrees to Mars in Gemini at 24 degrees. We still have the Mars square Neptune, so there can be trickery and duplicity. We still have that, but I want to tell you, this is a great love day. This is a great day to pour your energy into something that you absolutely love and adore. And I like the beautiful, glorious Scorpio moon trine into Neptune and the sun. So this day is just a great love day. And if you are a Pisces, an Aries, a Scorpio, or a Gemini, I know those are weird combinations, but you are being directly affected by this abundance. Now, if you guys are a member of my channel and you joined at the higher level, that's called the Superstar Super Supporter. You get your transits for 365 days. And that report is just so good because it tells you which transits are most important in your chart. So it's personalized for you, where you live, your birth time, your birthday, and it is fantastic. And you get that for free. That's one of the benefits that you get if you're a Superstar Super Supporter. We also have a new level where you get all my extended content, and I hope you guys are all members. You can just join for $2, and then you get all my extended content, and I will do March transits for all 12 signs. You won't want to miss that. It's going to be so good. And I hope you saw my last members only video on the vertex and how to actually use it in all of your charts. So I hope you loved it. If you did, let me know. Thank you for supporting the channel. Oh my God, I could not do all this content without your support, your devotion, your loyalty, and I'm just so grateful. So thank you for being a super supporter, and thank you for valuing my content. It means the world to me and everybody at Team Soul Navigation. I think March 21st is going to be fascinating. This is the day when the portals, the North Node and the South Node, are touched by Venus at 5 degrees Taurus and 5 degrees Scorpio. So do you have your sun at 5 degrees Taurus or Scorpio? Let me know in the comments, because this is a pretty magical day. And if you have this, wherever you have 5 degrees Taurus in your chart, there is magic. I got chills just saying this. There's magic on this day in some way, shape, or form, because you will be able to tap into higher aspects, the higher realm. You'll be able to level up and ascend wherever this is in your chart. It doesn't matter. So if this is in your 10th house, Venus is going to touch the North Node. And if that's in your 10th house, well, that's you building your legacy. And you could make more money. You could have more status. You could have more glory. If this is in your 6th house, this is your daily routine is touched by Venus. Maybe you meet somebody on your walk, or at the coffee shop, or at the pizza joint, or, walking your dog, or at the gym. Maybe you level up your health routine. Maybe you get good news about your daily life, about your pets. Maybe you are starting to see the results of your health and wellness program. If this is your 5th house, maybe this is good news about your children. Where do you have 5 degrees Taurus in your chart by house? Let me know in the comments below. I want to know. Also, I should say at this time, the Sun and Mercury are now in Aries. And so our thoughts and our communication are a little bit more direct, a little bit more black or white, a little bit more definitive, decisive, a little bit yes, no, in, out, up, down, the gray area. The Mars in Gemini. Is anybody else exhausted with this Mars in Gemini? God, I cannot wait for it to get out of Gemini. It makes my life crazy busy. I barely have time to, eat or sleep. I'm not joking. And it's manic. And so it is going to shift. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I also think that this Sun and Mercury and Jupiter in Aries switching over in March might feel also very ambitious and busy, but it has a direct quality to it. So it knows what it wants, and it kind of knows how to go get exactly what it is it wants. There's a decisiveness in Aries. There's no beating around the bush. There's no confusion. It's just very, very decisive. And so we might find this refreshing after the Pisces energy of the month and after all of this 6-month prison time inside a Mars in Gemini going round and round and round and round. If you can, during a Mars in Gemini transit, which has been the last 6 months, if you can actually build something going upwards, right? If you can build a mountain, build a structure that has real gain in it, you're amazing, because we've been swimming against the current, right? Literally swimming against the current. And it's like the undertow, and you swim and you make it to shore. It's because Mars in Gemini goes around in a circle. It's like a cul-de-sac. It's not a straight line. It's been challenging. Tell me if you can relate to that, especially if you are a Gemini. Do you feel like you've just been going around a circle, or it could be like a gerbil wheel? It's a lot of busy energy. March March 23rd, pretty powerful. We know that Pluto moves out of the 29th degree of Capricorn, yay, and into 0 degrees Aquarius. Let me know if you are born on the very first day of Aquarius. That's around January 21st. And if you're born on the very first day of Leo, that's like July 21st. If that's you, this is directly touching you. This is really big time. So that means there is deep transformation around your identity, around the question of who am I and who do I want to become? On March 23rd, we get Gemini in the 29th degree. So you guys are hearing how many 29 degrees there are, right? Like it's a lot of 29 degrees, a lot of endings and new beginnings. I mean, March is very, very interesting because while it is the spring equinox, it is the very beginning, the very first day of the new year, astrologically speaking. And it usually happens on the 21st of March. So we are at the very, very beginning new year, right? But we have that on the 23rd, we have that 29 degrees Mars. And you might see that you're exhausted. You need a time out. You need a break. You just need to lie down. You want to sleep in. You want to just fool around, right? I don't blame you. You're probably exhausted. But let's welcome in Mars moving into Cancer. And that is going to happen when we are sound asleep at 5 o'clock in the morning. Most of us are sound asleep at 5 o'clock in the morning on March 25th. And that's when we are going to get this Mars in Cancer. Now, Mars in Cancer, a lot of people, they don't love that position and they say that it's in its detriment, but I welcome it. I welcome it. And I think it's in a gorgeous position with the nodal axis. I know it struggles because Mars is going to be square the sun. So there's agitation and that can really create a big spar and war. Just Mars alone in Cancer, I'm looking forward to it. It conflicts with my personal Mars. I just want to tell you that a lot of times you can still feel the energy that planet is bringing you in a positive way, even if it sits in challenge in your own chart. However, I think that there can be a lot of tranquility, nurturing, and peace that comes with this as well. Even though it's not in perfect aspect in the chart, I look forward to it because we've been on that crazy making Gemini gerbil wheel for 6 months' time. So things are going to slow down just a little bit. Not a lot, just a little bit, because this Mars is in square the sun and Mercury and Chiron and Jupiter. So there's still tension on the rope, but there's some glory here. There's some sweetness to it. I will say it's still out of bounds. So that means it's a lot to handle. We might be more sensitive. We might get emotional. We might see crimes of passion. We might see that we are defensive. Cardinal signs are the defensive signs. So if you have Cancer, Libra, Aries in your chart or Capricorn, there's a propensity to defensiveness, where you want to defend yourself or guard yourself. On March 28th, you might receive some interesting news. This day is a mixed bag. There's kind of a great aspect and then there's a challenging aspect. So if you guys did not watch my video called The 10 Hardest Aspects, Part 1, 2, and 3, please watch that video. I go deep into the hardest aspects to have, and I talk a lot about the moon conjunct Mars, or the moon and Mars together in hard aspect. So the moon is exact conjunct with Mars in Cancer on March 28th. So you could get your feelings hurt. You could get your heart broken. You could get your heart just ripped in half. You could also find out that you might have to have a surgery of sorts, or you might need to lose something or say goodbye to someone or something that you love dearly. So there could be an emotional goodbye, an emotional loss, an emotional sadness on that day. So do protect your heart, especially if you are a Cancer, a Libra, an Aries, or a Capricorn. I do want to say that day can also bring in really good news because Jupiter is conjunct Mercury exact and it's in Aries. And so there can be good news. You might hear something positive. You might see that there is a silver lining. So while that moon Mars might bring something hard, there is a silver lining that is truly silver lining, good news for you, something that could really heal you because Chiron's in the mix too. Now, I would say if you are an Aries or if you have any of your planets at 18 degrees Aries, you could talk too much, say too much, speak too loudly, speak out of turn, and your words could actually be so much there's such big Aries energy that you might not have the thoughtfulness around your speech. And so just watch your words and be careful how you speak and communicate, and, wrap up your sentences with a big fat bow and a lovely hug, just because that Mercury conjunct Jupiter can be too much at times. And in Aries, then it can be kind of too direct. However, you could receive really incredible news that day. So that transit can go both ways. I kind of like Mercury conjunct Jupiter. I think it's optimistic. I think it's playful and fun. It's expansive. It's when you can create a new idea, a new dream, sign a great contract. You could get an opportunity that just changes your life. Jupiter. So it's exciting. So I'm interested to see how the 28th plays out for everyone. You will have to let me know. Let's talk about the new moon and the full moon. So we got to go back to March 21st because that is such an interesting day. And I did talk about this in my transits video for 2023. And this is one of the biggest new moons of the year. Please go watch that because I do give kind of an overview of the entire year. I still need to do a part 2 for that video so I can go a little deeper into the last 6 months. But March 21st is the spring equinox. It is the very first day of the astrological calendar. It is 0 degrees Aries, and we have a new moon. It is so exciting in Aries. And so if you were born on this day, March 21st, this is a glorious birthday party for you. Let's start celebrating right now. Is your birthday March 21st? Oh my God. If it is, you should get the big birthday package in my shop. I'll put the link in the notes below, and consider getting a reading from somebody at Team Soul Navigation to take a look at your whole solar return and what does this year have in store for you. So this is just a glorious, glorious day. If you are an early Aries, you will feel this. And I will also say, if you are an early Sagittarius, an early Leo, an early Gemini, an early Aquarius, this is such a great, powerful manifestation day. And I have a video called Do This on Every New Moon. Go look for that video. And I teach you how to manifest. I teach you how to use your crystal and how to manifest your hopes, your dreams, your wishes, and help universe help you make them come true. So this is the day where you want to work with your crystals. And if you bought your absolutely gorgeous intention jewelry, this is the day that you really want to wear it. Here is my beautiful pendant. Dawn creates necklaces out of these. Isn't this gorgeous? Oh my gosh, this is the lucky charm. Isn't that gorgeous? But this is when you want to work with your crystals. And this is where you want to make your wishes come true. Isn't this gorgeous? This is the new moon, March 21st, and you can watch that video, and I take you step by step on how to work with the new moon energy. This day is so great. Mercury is there at 5 degrees, and so it's just like Spirit is listening. No matter what sign you are, this moon is such a powerful moon. So work with it, March 21st, okay? Venus is exalted. It's on that north node. I'm just telling you, this day is so magical. Please do not let this day get by you. Create that which you wish for, that which you are dreaming of. And this is a day when your wishes can really come true. Now, one little crazy little extra is I want to tell you that we are going to have 2 new moons in Aries. Now, the next new moon happens to be at the 29th degree. Can you believe this? So we have one at the 0 degree, and then our next new moon is actually going to also be in Aries, and it's on April 19th. We'll talk about that in my next month's forecast video for you, but that's at the 29th degree. And so that's going to be interesting, really interesting. I can't wait to talk to you guys about that. We're going to end the month, March 31st, with something kind of interesting, and that is the moon opposing Pluto. Pluto is at that 0 degrees. We have the moon in Leo opposing it. So I'm very interested to see what sort of happens. One thing that I do like about this is that the Aquarius and the Leo, both those energies go well with the Aries stellium that we have. So while we might see some loss or some sadness, we can also see that there can be really impactful transformation. We can heal our hearts. We can gain more power with the Pluto Aries aspect. You can really step into deep personal courage and power to get life on your own terms, to level up, to blaze new trails, to take new chances, to make your life feel good for you on your terms, kind of getting rid of the excess that just doesn't work for us and stepping into the adventure of our lives. This is an impactful month. This is a big month, and I really want you to do something glorious with this month of March. Also, I want to tell you to come join my workshop, learn with me in person. I would absolutely love it. I'm going to be doing a 3-day workshop, and you can check out the link in the notes below. It's going to be glorious on the waterfront here in Seattle, and I'm going to teach you how to read your natal chart. We're going to do deep astrology together, and we're going to party at night. It's going to be so much fun. Check it out and come meet me and learn astrology with me. And until then, my sweet friends, wherever you are at in the world, I absolutely love being here with you. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for supporting my work. Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. And until next time, I'm always here Sundays at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. I will see you soon. Take good care. Bye for now.